everyone, this is Fawberry back with another episode of Fawberry reading. Today I'm going to read Pickles to Pittsburgh, the sequel to Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the book version. Written and colored by Judy Barrett, drawn by Ron Barrett. We all miss Grandpa an awful lot. His Saturday morning pancakes, his mostly funny jokes, and especially his wonderful bedtime stories. Tomorrow, and he would be home. No, today is already Thursday. I just need to keep on reading here. Wait. I can hardly wait to hear where he had been and what he had done. To pass the time, we helped Mom make spaghetti and meatballs for dinner. Henry made the largest meatballs we've ever seen. They barely fit into the pot. Mom thanked us for her helping, but asked that the meatballs are much smaller this time. After we finished eating, Henry and I cleared the table so we could help make a special welcome home cake for Grandpa. It was chocolate with strawberry icing and made in the shape of Grandpa's face. We licked as much as the batter of the spoons as we possibly could. I took Grandpa's postcard up to my room and I put it on the little table beside my bed. I kept staring at it and wondering if the lamplight made bright in a photograph of a wonderful place that seemed somehow familiar. I said goodnight to it and drifted off into my dreams. Surrounded by milky blue skies, I said, with Henry as my co-pilot, we carefully steer our plane through large puffs of mist. Soon we found ourselves soaring over an island, a very lumpy island. From the air, it looks like a gigantic feast. Immense vegetables, salads, and desserts lie beneath us. The mountains look like huge loaves of bread. We decided to take a closer look and prepare ourselves for a bumpy landing. Avoiding some broccoli and narrowly missing a tremendous hamburger on an oversized bun, we come down and taxi on what appeared to be giant strips of crisp bacon. Henry and I stepped down from the plane and look around in awe. Before us lies a strange but wonderful landscape. We are surrounded by larger-than-life vegetables. Nearby is a lake that smells like breakfast, bordered by leafy jungles of lettuce that resemble a tossed salad. We try to keep our balance as we walk around on the top of a giant bagel. In the passive forest is of towering carrots. One is pierced by a tunnel large enough for a car to drive through. Off in the distance, we see popcorn snowing down onto the peaks of enormous rolls. Way up above our heads, high up in the trees that looked like broccoli, chubby birds are nesting in a huge shredded and it's wheat biscuits. Ahead of us, at the end of the long row, lies what looks like an abandoned town. Eager to know where we all are, we start walking toward it. Sweet-smelling rain begins to fall. It collects in hundreds of open containers. Excuse me. They are lined up in a field beside the road. Lots of oranges. Orange puddles. Those are everywhere. Orange juice. All of a sudden, we find ourselves standing in the shadow of a giant tuna sandwich. Being delightfully airlifted by a helicopter. In the distance, another helicopter races off with a jumbo pickle in tow. When we reached what is left of the town, we saw the remains of a sign welcoming us to a place called Chew and Swallow. Somehow I knew I heard that name somewhere before. We walked through the entire town in amazement. Up ahead, lots of workers were wearing helmets and dressed in matching uniforms are loading huge potatoes onto a truck. Other trucks sag under the weight of immense artichokes, enormous eggplants, and massive peas and carrots. Foot-long ale held cutlets and stacked up to be packed for shipping. Are stacked up to be packed for shipping. Sorry, just got a little bit excited there. To the east, the weather is changing. As we can see, these sandwiches raining down. As they land, they are piled up neatly, ready for shipment on a freighter anchored down by the shore. Large reservoirs of milk and cream flow into extra large containers, which are lined up, ready to be loaded onto a ship. Printed on the sides of the trucks are the words "Falling Food Company, large food for large and small all countries, free." One of the workers tell us that Shortswall used to be an ordinary little town, except that instead of weather, food rained down from the sky for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Back then, he says, but some quirk of nature, the falling food grew larger and larger. Storms of gigantic food threatened normal life. So the people took their belongings and sailed away to a new land on rafts made of huge slices of stale bread. They returned years later to see what happened to Chew and Swallow. They discovered an endless food supply and decided to create the Falling Food Company. Now, daily shipments are made to all parts of the world, from the smallest towns to the largest cities. As soon as the food lands, it is wrapped, boxed, bottled, or packaged and sent out to the people who need it. Even with poverty and drought throughout the world. There is always enough food for everyone. Henry and I think this is a good idea. We wish we could stay and work here, but I don't think they hire kids. It's getting late and we hate to leave, but we really have to be heading home. Mom's expecting us for dinner. Excuse me. The workers gave us a 2-foot wide chocolate chip cookie, which we carry back to the plane. It just barely fits through the door. We buckle up. I revved the engine and we started rolling down the bacon runway. And as everyone waves goodbye, we could see dinner approaching from the west. A spaghetti, they have meatballs, I think, and as we gain altitude, the chewed swallow slowly vanishes into the distance. My alarm clock woke me with a jolt. It was finally Thursday, and I wanted to get to school fast. The sooner I get there, or the sooner I get home, and the sooner I see Grandpa. When we got home, we ran as fast as we could. We into Grandpa's waiting arms. Excuse me. I brought back something for you, said Grandpa, and he gave us a very large box containing a chocolate chip cookie he had gotten on his trip. They were the biggest we had ever seen, almost 2 feet wide. Mom made Grandpa's favorite dinner, chicken and dumplings, and we surprised him with our special welcome home cake. We chose the slice with the mustache. By the time dinner was done, it was late. Grandpa was tired. When he was all tuckered in bed, we knocked on his door, to give him an extra goodnight kiss. Then I told Grandpa the most wonderful tall-tale bedtime story he ever heard. It began surrounded by milky skies with Henry as my co-pilot. Grandpa stayed awake till the very end. Then he looked at us with a very funny glint in his eye and said, "Wait until I show you the pictures I took on my trip." And he drifted off into his own wonderful dreams. Thanks for watching.